Today is a double birthday. It's the birthday of my little sister Kata. She's turning 31 today. Boldog szüli napot, boldog szüli. Okay, I guess no one wants to hear my beautiful voice, but it is her birthday and we're gonna be celebrating her birthday mainly in this video. But it's also the birthday of my chess course, and by the end of the video you will learn why this exact date, because it's not a coincidence. As I said, we're gonna be celebrating my sister today and we're gonna go through our photo album. I have selected a couple of photos for today. Old nostalgic journey coming up next. But before we get to how she came into my life, please meet Erika and Laszlo. They met each other at a trip to Algeria over 30 years ago, before the fall of the Soviet Union, which in itself makes it a miracle that they were able to travel from the Eastern Bloc, from Hungary, gather enough money for a trip to Africa. My dad was always really adventurous and he has gone on many trips, and my mom was the best friend of the tour guide who ended up having a free spot for this excursion to Algeria. And there they were, two Hungarians meeting in Algeria. A few months later they decided to get married and have me, a little bold creature, a lovely human being, I must say. There are other photos where I look more normal, with my collection of books in the background. Now just my parents' library and me dressed up as a very serious person. I feel like at the age of, what would I be, 1 or 2 years old, here with my mom sporting the same outfit. But they thought that it would be great if I had someone to play with, if I had a brother or sister, and so my sister came into the world. Even though she looks like a little brother, she is my little sister. She's 1.5 years younger than me and I absolutely love her. She has been my best friend for over 30 years by now, and we've gone through a lot of things together, including birthdays where I wasn't really happy that it was her birthday, and I'm kind of crying that I didn't have a cake as well. But other birthdays too, where actually the both of us were cheerful, full of chocolate, as usual. This is us dancing at home, I guess after another birthday party, because I was wearing my best dress that day. That pink dress was my favorite, with pink socks. We went hiking a lot with my parents. Here we are wearing their t-shirts and our boots to go into the forest and collect mushrooms. We love nature, we still do, but we used to go a lot on these weekend trips to just explore trees and wildlife. No, not really wildlife, but just like observe plants, trees, learn more about how this planet works. I think I knew back then way more about nature than now, and I also collected whatever I could find, including dead animals' bones, as you can see in my right hand. I'm not sure I realized what I was holding. But yes, we've attended almost every single group activity together. This was our fitness group in primary school. Here we are sporting our best beach outfits, going to the pool, just goofing around. We used to have really similar clothes and similar hairstyles, so people thought that we were twins because we were the same height, almost. The thing is, we were the same height in kindergarten, but ever since primary school she grew above me, and everybody thought I'm the smaller sister because I'm the short one. We used to have dogs and cats. I could make another video entirely just about our pets. But the main point that I wanted to arrive to in this video is that we learned to play chess together. And that is something that, now you know, has changed my life a lot. So I wanted to tell you more about the background story. As you can see, here we already know how to play chess, but it didn't just happen like this. That table was in the living room all the time, so we would play on that chessboard. Here we are trying to play puzzles, but we would also build Lego on it. Sometimes we would use the chess pieces as towers, build any kind of construction out of them. And it was very natural to us that this board was there, but we didn't know until age 3 or 4 how to play chess. And the reason we learned it, you may have heard this from interviews of mine, is because there was this computer game called Battle Chess. My dad used to play a lot with that computer game. You can see the computer in this picture, by the way. He was the first person in our town. I grew up in a small town in Hungary with about 10,000 inhabitants, and my dad was the only person in the town to have a computer because he studied information technology before anybody else in the town, and he had this computer to do actual programming in MS-DOS and all really old school. But yes, because of having that computer and the Battle Chess program, we were always watching him playing, and we loved the game. Whenever you move a piece, they become alive. They fight against each other when you trade and kill each other. And that somehow was appealing to us. So we wanted to play the game, and in order to play the game, we had to learn the rules because the computer doesn't let you make any random moves. You need to know how the pieces move. And that's how it all started. From learning through Battle Chess, we ended up playing a lot against each other and also joining the school chess group, which was taught by my dad. We would only play against each other at the beginning. We were really shy. But he ended up realizing that we were big on Kinder chocolate. You know, Kinder Surprise, the egg one with a toy in it. So in order to make us play against other children, he started offering us chocolate. That if I played against that girl, he would give me a Kinder chocolate, and if my sister played against that little boy, he would give him a Kinder chocolate. And so we ended up collecting Kinder chocolates and realizing that it's actually not too bad to play against other children. And we even went on to competing at multiple children's tournaments, not only playing against each other but other kids too. This was a Christmas where we got our very own chess set. My sister had this magnetic chess set that you see next to her, a travel set, and I had what I called a glass chess set. It was so pretty, I loved it, but it wasn't really made of glass. I didn't realize it was plastic. But to me, that was the most beautiful chess set in the world. I loved it. I played with it for years. It was really my favorite. So from children's tournaments, we ended up actually becoming really successful at tournaments. Here we were representing our school at the National Scholastic Tournament. Some tournaments went really well, others may not have gone so well. No, actually here again we won the silver medal, I believe, but I guess it was too sunny for me. Looks like I'm crying, I know. Chess is tough. Lots of successful tournaments followed, including this one where my sister won first prize in her category and qualified to the Hungarian National Championship. In this picture you can also see our trainer. We used to go to training sessions led by Béla Molnar. We had group classes and also private lessons with our trainer Béla. So from that Hungarian National Championship my sister qualified to. She ended up competing there really successfully and also qualifying to the World Youth Championship. This is us in Spain, our first ever time in Spain in Oropesa del Mar in 1998. And what I need to emphasize here is that it's my sister who qualified to the World Championship of Chess. I was there as an accompanying person. So just when you think about who's the talented one in the family, you know the answer. I was there to accompany my sister and my dad. We went to Spain, the three of us, and I was allowed to play in the end, but I didn't qualify. I was there hoping that they let me register. That was our strategy, that I would be there and maybe I can make it to the tournament. There was a free spot, they let me play, and I ended up doing pretty well in my age category. But it was my sister who qualified and who helped me get to my first ever World Championship. We had a blast in Spain, by the way. We always went to the playgrounds, did a bit of Baywatch. The Hof was always an inspiration, it seems. Conquered this mini Eiffel Tower that felt like conquering the world, and just had an overall amazing time at our first World Championship. We kept on competing in national championships, and I started to become pretty good too. After all, the hard work paid off because I kept going to the classes, I kept training, and that showed in my results. At the same time, my sister started losing interest, so she was dropping out of the classes. She developed other interests, including photography, film studies, film theory, directing films, and sign language. That's her latest. She's one of the best interpreters of sign language in Hungary. Objective fact. But yes, it's interesting how she was the one who was better at the beginning and I was just trying to catch up, and then I kept going while she changed what she was more into, and she's really good at what she's doing. So I think she found what's right for her, what's her true passion and what she really wants to do. But if it wasn't for her and all those tournaments we competed in together and all those training sessions we had together, I wouldn't have landed in the Olympic team, I'm pretty sure. And not just that, but the fact that after she stopped at the age of 12, 13, I kept going to these training sessions and I kept having more and more serious tournaments, which also meant serious financial effort. Chess is a very inexpensive game. Anybody can have a chessboard for a few euros, but if you want to be good at it, if you want to be good at anything, that takes sacrifices, and my parents had to spend a lot on trainings and also sending me to tournaments abroad, because to become an internationally recognized player you need to compete at international events, lots of times traveling to different countries in Europe, and from Hungarian salary it was really expensive to do those trips, to go to France, Italy, Spain a couple of times a year to be able to compete at those events, the travel costs, the hotel or apartment, and that's without paying the trainer and the rest of my classes that I had during the year. So it was a lot of sacrifice from my parents' side, but what I think I never understood as a kid is that my sister was putting in the same amount of sacrifice, because she never complained. She never said, why is it that Anna is getting all these trips and we are spending a lot on her and I'm not getting that same amount of financial effort toward me? Why I'm not getting fancy toys? Why I'm not getting a new phone? She never demanded anything. She never felt like it was unfair that so much financial resources were also spent on my hobby and later career. I think this just goes to show what an incredible person she is, that even as a kid, even as a child, she never thought that this was unfair toward her. Quite the contrary, she was always so supportive of me, always rooting for me, always being there for me whenever I was down, and still she is my biggest fan and supporter, and I can't thank her enough. I'm extremely lucky to have a sister like her, and I'm extremely lucky to have the parents I have. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have made it to the Olympic team, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have ever become the chess figure I am now in our community. And that leads us back to what I said at the beginning of the video, that it's a double birthday and it's not by coincidence. I've been working on my first ever Chessable course for the last couple of months, but the launch date, when we were seeking for a date and we decided that April would be the right month to publish it, I immediately was drawn to this particular day, because the 27th of April is the birthday of my sister, and I wanted my course to be a tribute to everything that I got from my family. I'm gonna go really emotional here, but I would be nowhere without them. So this is my... Man, I didn't think I was gonna cry. So this is my small way of saying a big thanks to my family for always being there for me and for helping me get where I am right now, even if I'm crying in a YouTube video, which is definitely not what I was planning to do. They mean the world to me, and I hope that I can give back a little bit with gestures like this, even if I know that everything they have done for me is impossible to give back. It's just so much love and so much support and so much sacrifice. Oh man. Let me gather my thoughts and wipe these tears for a moment, because today we are celebrating that I have the best sister in the world. She really truly is amazing. I'm gonna leave a link to her social media if you want to say hi to her, but also I'm pretty sure that she will read the comments in this video, so if you want to wish her happy birthday, please go and send a greeting to her below this clip. There will also be a link to my course in the description if you're curious to see what's my tribute to my family. But first and foremost, as I said, it's my sister that deserves all the credit. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different and way more emotional than what I thought it would be. But it really means a lot to me that I can share this with you. And if you are curious about any other topics, I mentioned the Olympic team and how I got into the team, or if you want me to play battle chess, the game that made me and my sister learn to play chess, I would be down for that too. So let me know in the comments, but mainly do use the comment section for celebrating the person that deserves to be celebrated today. Kata, boldog születésnapot!